Our presentation this morning, in which we'll talk with you about the School of Social Work. I am Joy McClellan. I have been with the School of Social Work for about 16 years. I currently coordinate the MSW program, but I have taught and coordinated the BSW program as well. And so I am really excited to talk with you guys today about our School of Social Work and what kind of opportunities we have to offer you. We have a current Bachelor's of Social Work student here with us today, Sharkia Shepard, who's currently doing her field placement. She just turned her video on, so she is here to answer your questions about being a student and being in their field placement. And then we have Dante Kusar, who's here as an MSW student after graduating with his BSW and being admitted to the MSW program in an advanced standing. So they're here to talk about their experiences. We have Miss Atencia Earp, who is one of the professors that teaches a lot of the classes within our undergraduate program here in the School of Social Work. And we just had join us Dr. Precious Skinner Osai, Dr. O as we call her, and she's the coordinator of the BSW program. So I'm gonna let her take it from here.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize for that glitch. As soon as I said good morning the first time, all the power in the house went out. So it could be that our program is just that great. They knew I was about to talk about it and something in the universe tried to prevent it. And again, I am Dr. O and I'm the BSW program coordinator. And today we're not going to do much talking. We're actually going to let our students do a lot of talking about our program, especially since two of them have completed the BSW program and went into the MSW program. And we have Sharkia, who's in her last semester completing her internship. But usually students want to know what all you can do with this degree. And to not sound bold or proud, with this degree, you can do just about anything in the world. And that's why I like social work myself, because when you get bored, you can find something else to do with the degree. And you can continue to do that for about 20 years like I've done. And I know probably Dr. McClellan and Professor Earp has done. But what sets our program apart is that it's the largest program in the state of Florida, undergraduate program. On the average, we have about 522 to 614 students. And although that's a lot of students, students often say that they feel like the program is small and cohesive. And usually with social work out in the community, people think you just could work in child welfare. But today you're going to hear about various things that you could do. And Professor Earp is going to talk more about all the things that she has done, what she integrates into the classroom. Another huge part of our program is that we have a 98% employability rate. Our students usually are employed at their internships by the end. And if not, they gain employment shortly after graduation. And we rank number 3 in the state of Florida when it comes to how much money our students make. And our students work in a variety of places. I'm even surprised sometimes when they email me and tell me the jobs they have secured. And our students also participate in research. Usually students are kind of afraid of research, but we have BSW students that work side by side with our professors. As far as research, again, that's something, the possibilities are limitless when it comes to research. Our professors that teach in just the undergraduate program have over 60 specialized areas of research that they have done or that they are currently doing. So not to bore you with all of that great information, we're going to move ahead and we're going to let our students tell you about their experience in the program. Then Dr. McClellan can share with you about the MSW program. And Professor Earp can tell you what it looks like in our classroom, since she teaches just about everything in the BSW program. So Sharkia, would you like to go first?
Absolutely. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Charkia Shepard. I am currently a BSW student at Florida Atlantic University, which is awesome, and it has been an amazing experience for me. I don't think I've had an experience where I was confused, I was lost, I was misled. The experience has been overall like a really great experience. Right now, I'm currently interning at the Office of Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Counsel. And right now, what I do we pretty much work with attorneys. We work with the attorneys. We help them represent parents in dependency cases, things like that of that nature. We also help with like maintaining case plans and their case tasks and things like that. So that is something that you can't do in a social work field. You can work at a law firm, which is amazing. And I had no idea that that was something you can do prior to my internship there. Other than that, like my experience has been really well. Everyone in the social work, the College of Social Work, we're pretty much family. We are. I can call Dr. O and I can call Dr. O whenever I want. That's just how close we are in the School of Social Work. And it's a really great program. I don't regret anything about the program. Actually, I do. The only thing I do regret is not being more involved, because FAU is actually really a good school, and especially the faculty and the staff at in the College of Social Work. So that's been my experience. It's been a really good experience, no complaints. And I am definitely considering getting my master's degree at social work, in social work at FAU. And if you all have any questions, I am able to answer them as far as the BSW. I cannot answer any questions about MSW. The only thing I know is I want to go into the program under advanced standing. So yeah.
I'm assuming it's my turn now. Sorry, Dr. O, your mic is off. All good, don't worry. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dante Cusart. I am actually an MSW student here at Florida Atlantic University. I did obviously my undergrad in social work. I got my BSW. First of all, to begin with, I was a business major to begin, and I was unsure of what I wanted to do. And I actually met one of the professors that were working in the social work field here at Florida Atlantic University, and they just completely changed my mind. And I am so blessed they did that. It was like, perfect timing, and I'm so thankful for that. I don't even know where to begin, because I could go on and on about, the staff and just the students and everybody involved with it. But, it's been such a great experience, and I'm so thankful for them. It's just a big team camaraderie here. And I had my internship at no, that's what I have now. Sorry. I have my internship at a rehab center down in West Palm. It was working with different people of all different ages with substance abuse rehab issues. And just the ability to have such a great internship really helped out a lot. And one thing we have that's great with this BSW program here is we have so many relationships with a bunch of different internships, completely from substance abuse rehab to working with children to working in the hospitals. We have such a great relationship with them that you can be placed wherever you want. And like Dr. O said, with this degree, you can do whatever you want almost. You have so many different options, and it's very nice to do that, because you still, like myself, may be a little undecided during your BS or after your BSW, and you have options, so you don't need to worry. But I could go on and on. Like I said, the staff is phenomenal. The professors are amazing. It's literally like a family, and I'm just so thankful for all of them. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. You can reach out to anybody that works in the program, and they'll get back to you fast. But yes, like I said, they're amazing, and I've had such a great experience, and I'm so glad I did it. And I'm excited to see what the rest of my MSW has in store for me. So thank you.
Thank you, Dante. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi. Okay, my name is Jasmine Frederick. First, ignore the background, guys. I'm in the process of cleaning. But yes, I'm a advanced standing MSW student. I did my undergrad at FAU, but I transferred after my AA because I was at Palm Beach State. And just like Dante, I was a business major as well. But I always knew that I wanted to be in a field of helping people and giving back. So I'm so glad that I made that transition to major in social work. And I have no complaints about my BSW. The only thing I think, just like Sharkia, I'm upset that I didn't get more involved because FAU, it's a lot of opportunities for you to get involved and to network and meet with other people. And I'm just upset that I didn't use my voice when I had that chance in my BSW. But I think now in the MSW program, I'm getting more comfortable and getting more sure of myself. And I thank Dr. O for that because, like Sharkia said, Dr. O is always there for us. And it's just really good to have this family and this unity in the School of Social Work because you always have someone to go to if you need help. And I did my undergrad internship at Children's Home Society, and pretty much it was shadowing and supervising the supervision between the parents and the children, and pretty much working alongside the case managers and going to home visits and things like that. Now for my MSW, I'm at a rehab slash mental health facility. And once again, I was so nervous about this because substance abuse wasn't really my choice. And I told Dr. Oh, I was like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know anything about this population really. And she pretty much just told me that it's a learning experience. And it really is. I've learned so much by being there, connecting with the patients, connecting with the staff. And it just show you that in the social work field, there's endless amounts of like ways and routes that you can go because there's always something for you, no matter what you're interested in. Criminal justice, children, the elderly population, homeless, like there's always something for you. So I definitely enjoy being here. I have one more semester. Um, and I'm even considering getting my doctorate in social work just because I love the program that much. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me because I would love to answer them for you. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jasmine. All right. Professor Earp, do you want to tell us about that fun you have in the classroom?
Hi, everyone. Hi, new and future upcoming social workers. Yes. So basically, I had been an adjunct for about a year and a half, and now I am on board full time. That's how much I've appreciated and fell in love with FAU and the students. When I say these students are so amazing, they network, and once you join and join the program, you'll find out what networking means. Basically, it's the fact that you form these relationships where you can share resources and information. And our students are so amazing at doing that and helping one another. You will never be alone in this program. That's one thing for sure. Everyone is so helpful. I want to go back to the all of the opportunities that you have as a social worker. So prior to me coming on board full time, I've dabbled in so many things. And what happens is when you start with one position or one career idea, one population, you figure out that there's something else there, and you find a passion within that same population, that there's something else that I need to do and something else that's really touching my heart, and you end up going to move in that direction. So I've done medical social work, I've worked with homeless, I've done auditing. I've mostly done macro stuff for the most part until recently. I found myself working with children, which is something I never thought I would do. So you go in thinking one thing and then you figure out you're going to do another one. And so I've been a school social worker for a while now, up until recently. And that is a gamut of experience, because you will touch every population there is to touch. There's so much to learn in that field. So I say that to say, embrace this opportunity, take everything you can out of it, and make sure that you keep finding your passion. Stay lifelong learners and continue making use of all of the opportunity that you have. And I welcome you aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Would you like to talk about that MSW program everybody likes to hear about?
Sure. So I coordinate the MSW program now at FAU. And I think, like you've already heard from the two MSW students on this call, what happens is a lot of people get their undergraduate degree in social work and they do their internship, they start doing undergraduate level work, and they realize they want to do more. So with your undergraduate degree, you're often doing case management, case coordination, discharge planning, community organization, and you're working directly with people, right? And so often when you're doing that as an undergraduate degree with your BSW, you realize you also would like to talk with them more about what happened to them along the way, the trauma they've experienced, different ways they might be able to enhance or restore functioning in their life. You want to take it deeper with them. And so you end up wanting to get your master's degree in social work so that you're equipped to be both a macro level social worker as well as a clinician, a therapist. And so lots of undergraduate level social workers come back to get their MSWs so that they can either be a therapist or work at high levels in the macro level in terms of doing policy analysis, organizing at a higher level, running organizations, supervising clinical teams, that sort of work. So lots and lots of BSWs like me come back and get their master's degrees in social work. And what's really important about that and why I like to come to these sessions is because if you keep your grades high, and like these two young people here on the screen with you today, keep your GPA at 3.5 or above for the last 60 credits you earn in your undergraduate degree, you can come into the MSW program with advanced standing. That essentially means you can get a graduate degree with 30 credits, 10 classes, and a 600-hour field placement. That is half of what everyone else has to do. So whether you do it in 1 year or 2 semesters like Jasmine, or whether you decide to do that advanced standing over 2 years like Dante, you are able to earn a master's degree in 30 credits, 10 classes, and 600 hours of internship because you excelled at the undergraduate level. So I really want to get in front of people now when they're just thinking about majoring in social work and say, keep your grades up because it's so, if you spend some nights home studying now, that's going to save you a year of coursework, 30 credits at the graduate level tuition rate, and a 400-hour internship. So it's just so important. If your end game is you're thinking, I want to be a therapist, I want to run an agency, I want to open a nonprofit, keep your grades up in your undergrad so that you can come on in as advanced standing. And that's true in every school of social work across the country, by the way, not just here at FAU. So even if you end up moving, you could do your master's degree in a different state as an advanced standing student if you keep your grades up.
Great information. Thanks for sharing that, Joy. And next we have Melanie Adams from the Career Center.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm not fully associated with the social work program. I actually work for the Career Center from the entire university perspective, but I was invited here today because what's the really interesting part of how the Career Center works is you have designated liaisons in all of the colleges who liaison with your awesome faculty members and advising office to help you with all of the things that everyone was speaking about, figuring out, well, what do I want to do in social work? What are some career options? You have the built-in internship, which is an amazing opportunity with this program. And the Career Center is really here just to support you throughout your journey. If you need help looking at your resume or your cover letter, or you just want someone to bounce some ideas off of the different things you can do. So we're really here just kind of to assist in the process and work with your college. We put on some of the events for the college, such as things like social services networking night. So we kind of help bring some of the agencies and some of the employers together to bring them to the students so you can have the opportunity to speak with them about different opportunities, whether it's volunteer opportunities, potential internship locations. So we're really here just to help with your development. And personally, social work is my favorite major. And I'm not just saying that. When I work with students from all majors who might be a little bit undecided or might know they want to help people or work with people, but they don't really know what they want to do, I am extremely partial to the social work major. So I think this is a great major and a great career opportunity to consider for all of the reasons that everyone said on the line. Is there's just so many different opportunities you can get into, and it's a great major to help impact and influence everything around you. So thank you for having me, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Melanie. The next person is Todd Hedrick from Advising, and you all may think that the coordinators are the most important people to know or to be nice to, but that's not so. Todd Hedrick is the person to know, the person to be super nice to, because I ask Todd at least 5 to 10 questions a day. So I also need Todd, and I have to be very nice to him. So Todd's gonna tell you how advising works.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming today. It's been great listening to everyone. I actually advised Dante when he first moved over from business. I used to have season tickets to football, and Dante was a football player for the FAU Owls. So you don't see that kind of connection too often from football players into social work. So we're really glad to have him here and kind of representing a different group of people that aren't normally considered, in social work. Advising is here to help you transfer into FAU. You'll have an advising appointment when you get admitted. That's required. Actually, we require advising for all social work students every semester because it is a relatively complicated program to get through. There's courses that you have to do in a certain order, and we help you through with that. So by coming in and see us every semester, you make sure you stay on track, get you out. Our goal here is to kind of get you in, get you through, and get you out as quickly and efficiently as possible. For some people, that means maybe 4 semesters if you really do it if everything falls out right. Some people it might take 2 years if you're part-time because you work and you have a family. As Dr. McClellan was saying, you have to keep your grades up, or it's really helpful to keep your grades up. So if you need to slow down a little bit in order to get those good grades, you're saving yourself a lot of time and money in the future. So that's what our role is here, is to kind of help you through that. We also kind of help you, guide you. We'll talk about the MSW program, which is the Masters of Social Work program, which comes after your BSW, your bachelor's program. And make sure, all the advising staff have a different background. So we all bring something different, a little different to the table. I have a master's degree in counseling, and then realized that I am not a therapist. It's not my gift. And so I'm much better in an advising role. But I do, I've been at the university for 17 years now, and I worked with the MSW and the BSW that entire time. So I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of which actually comes from students. They all bring in different experiences and why they want to be a social worker. And those experiences all kind of help inform me to help other students going forward. So that's always nice to get to know the students and what they want to do and where they want to go. We've had students come in with other, like in the master's program, we have business students. We actually had the violin player that played with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. She had a law degree and got her MSW while she was still touring with Bruce Springsteen. So like, how weird is that? And she wanted to be an MSW to move her life in a slightly different direction. So it really is interesting. And just hearing from Charkia today about working in a law firm. I didn't know that you could do that as a social worker. So I have now learned something that I can move forward with other students. And one of the cool things that I hear from students a lot, and I just see it, is that because the program is kind of sequenced, you have to do things in kind of a same order. you'll find yourself in kind of a cohort situation where you're going through basically the same classes with basically the same people, and you get to build up that trust with each other. You know, what happens in social work should stay in social work, because you talk about pretty serious issues in your classes, and you'll learn what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. But that learning process, I did it in my master's program because, again, it was a counseling kind of related program. So you learn a lot from each other as well as from the faculty, because, again, you're going to have people that are 18 years old that are in your program, and you'll have people that are in their 50s and 60s in the program that are all coming back, you know, that are all wanting to go out and help people. We have returning people, students returning, you know, in the military who want to work in the VA, people with substance abuse issues who have been in recovery for a long time that want to give back and help the people like they were helped. And that's a fairly common thread, and it really is interesting. So as you go through the process, you'll get to pick your own advisor. You have a primary that comes up when you get admitted that shows up as your contact. But really, we let you kind of choose, because we want you to have the best connection as possible. Your faculty, you'll see once or twice, or if you're lucky, 3 times for some of them. But your advisor will be the person that, if you want, can be the person you see the whole time. So that's what we do. That's what we're here for. We can help you with any kind of transfer questions, like what courses do I need to take, the prerequisites, how the transfer process works. If you're coming in as a freshman, then obviously that's a little bit different, but we're always here. We don't turn anyone away. So thank you very much. And again, I look forward to questions. And I think we have one person on the chat that maybe has asked a question. I'll let Precious handle that. Or somebody more.
I don't see anything on the chat.
I've got a one up. Let me see.
Maybe it was a private to you, Todd.
Yeah, it was from Precious to me. Sorry.
Oh, letting you know that you were up next.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see it. Sorry, Precious.
Too late, Todd. And also, a couple of things I forgot to mention is that we also have certificate programs. So if you're interested in working in the child welfare program, you can take 2 extra courses, and you can also get your degree in addition to receiving a child welfare certificate. And if you're interested in working with the elderly population, you can also get a certificate for working with the elderly population and graduate again with your degree and that certificate. I've heard that those certificates look very good on your resume, and they have helped some students get the job when compared to another student without the certificate. And in social work, we aren't as boring as people may assume. I like to say that we have a nightlife. And we have 2 student organizations. We have Students of Social Work. And what's great about that is that in normal times in the spring, they usually travel up to Tallahassee for Lead Day, and where you get to advocate for a specific issue that you are concerned about. But what I like about it the most is that you get to meet up with all the different schools of social work from the state of Florida. So it's thousands of social workers in one spot, and that's a party to me. We also have our Honor Society, Phi Alpha, and I'm not sure what the GPA is, but students also like to be a part of Phi Alpha. And the 2 of the students on this call said that they wish that they were more active, and they were very active. Sharkia is, you would think, is part of the faculty, because she's always available when we need her to participate. And the same thing with Dante. He's the go-to person when you need someone. And everybody knows Dante at the whole university and in social work. And Jasmine just started a new club in social work. And so they're very active, but it seems like they want more to do. So I think of some things that they could do. Professor Herb, Joy, you can help me so they can be more busy. They need more to do, according to them. And also we have Carice from admissions. And if you have any questions about admissions, or Carice, if you want to share anything about the admissions process, please feel free to do so.
Good morning, everybody. Just quickly wanted to just share some FAU admissions process. If you're interested, you want to make sure that you go ahead and apply as early as possible and submit all your documents, your test scores. You can do the self-reporting test score to the university. And I also strongly encourage you to join us for our other events throughout the week. This whole week, we're going to be doing different admissions explore events. Be sure to go onto the Virtual Explore FAU social page to just check out the agendas and the upcoming events. We will also have a student panel, so you can go back onto the social if you have any further questions to ask of our team. But as a reminder, just make sure if you're interested in FAU, apply as early as possible so you can have your highest chance at our scholarships, and also make sure that you get everything taken care of early on. As Todd briefly covered, you will be going through, once you get admitted, you will have to go through the orientation process. And then during the orientation for our freshman students, we do have a lot of bonding exercises with our Office of Transfer Services, but also does the orientation. And then you would also be meeting with your academic advising team to make sure that you get a right start at FAU. Again, if you have any questions, more particularly, feel free to drop them in the chat and I will gladly assist. But then we'll also have other events throughout the week, so make sure that you stay around and find out more about FAU.
Thank you. And Lindsay posted a question in the chat about social work and a law degree. And we have what we call forensic social work. And as a BSW, you can work in the courts and you're sort of working with the attorney directly. If there was a case, you would show up and the judge would actually ask you what your opinion is and what you think is best for the situation. So that would be a great internship as a BSW. You'll get to see how law and social work works together. Any more questions? Nothing else? Lindsay asked, how early can you begin your internships in the BSW program? Your internship is the last semester before you graduate, and you can't take any courses while you're doing your internship.
But you can do internships through Melanie's office and use them as electives throughout your career here at FAU. You can do as many of those as you like, really. So we've had some students who did an internship, I think a little over 2 years ago, who wanted to work with children. She loved children and wanted to be with children. And she did a small internship through the Career Center, and then realized she didn't want to be a social worker with children anymore. Being with them 8 hours a day was a little more than she found out she could handle, which I totally sympathize with. So they're really good if you're not really sure, or even if you are sure, you can do internships through the Career Center and use them as electives. And they do them from 0 to 4 credits, but I'm like, why do it if you need credits, why do it for 0? And it's again, you get to network, you get to see more of the real world and make connections out there that can help you get a job. So we definitely recommend that type of thing as much as you can.
Yeah, that's a great point, Todd, that you can do internships. We usually recommend sophomore year. So by your second year, get acclimated your first year. And then as Todd alluded to, you can get academic credit for it, usually elective credit. And it's a great way to find out what you like, what you don't like. And so that way, when you do get to your last semester, do that internship, you're already coming in with experience. And I think some of the internship placements like that because you're a little bit more prepared. So we definitely recommend that you can do internships pretty much as early as you would like. The more the merrier is what we recommend.
Any more questions? So we're posting our email addresses in the chat box so you all have access to it. Always feel free to give, oh, There goes a question from Marina.
So we do have a College of Psychology here at the university, at Florida Atlantic University, but we are here from the College of Social Work and Criminal Justice. There are lots of different opportunities to get a master's degree and become a therapist. Of course, we're partial to social work here. I can tell you that our School of Psychology here at FAU is more behavioral in its nature. We do have a master's in counseling available at FAU, but obviously I think the MSW is the preferable master's degree. And in terms of advanced standing, you would only be eligible for the MSW program in terms of utilizing that advanced standing you would earn as a BSW. But you'd be a therapist at the end. So whether you got a degree in counseling, psychology, or social work, you could work towards becoming a licensed clinician here in the state of Florida.
And I know we've seen a lot in the MSW program, students with their bachelor's degree in psychology apply to the MSW program.
Definitely. And they wish they got their undergraduate degree in social work because they could have achieved that advanced standing.
And yeah, we do get a lot of students changing majors from psychology into social work. You can, I don't want to throw psychology under the bus, but to be a therapist in psychology, you have to have a doctorate degree. So that's one of the advantages of social work in particular, but to some degree mental health counseling also, which is the other counseling program through the College of Education, which is more what I have. But I did an event a long time ago in Fort Lauderdale. It was a big table event, and it was for social workers or people in the helping professions. And I asked a woman who had a mental health, she was a licensed mental health counselor, LMHC, and I asked her, you know, I'm only getting the views from my social work faculty, so they're going to be a little skewed. So what, you know, do you feel that you've ever been held up or like passed over for positions or promotions because you had a mental health counseling instead of an MSW? And she said, no, but if I had to do it over again, I'd do the MSW. So I didn't get into the details. It was a little bit of a mixed message, but the MSW is kind of the gold standard in the helping professions out in the world that I have heard from outside of our wonderful faculty, who of course are biased towards their own profession, which is preferable. I guess you want them to be that way. So that's a little bit of another way of looking at it. And then I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about Madison's question. Precious, you might be able to. I mean, I can talk to it, but
I'll respond to it. You can add on to it if I leave out something. And Madison, I may be the best person to answer this question, I think. And that's because as a social worker, my research interest is criminal justice based. My research is with African-American men that are incarcerated. So I've had to answer these questions for decades. How come you don't have a degree in criminal justice? And that's because my social work approach is different from those that's in criminal justice. And if you are considering criminal justice and social work, I think now is the perfect time. You've probably heard something about it, or you're definitely going to hear more about it. And they're wanting more social workers to work directly with police departments and just the criminal justice system overall. In the summer, I worked with a local police department, and again, my approach is different. They actually joke with me all the time and say, what would a social worker do? Like, what is the social worker response? And it's usually, I don't want to say a smarter or better response, but it is. It's less aggressive, from my personal opinion. And on July 1st, we became the College of Social Work and Criminal Justice. And part of that is because there was so much overlap in the research that we do. And Todd, did you want to add to that?
I can a little bit. We have a lot of students who obviously want to work, who do social work and do a minor in criminal justice because that's the population they want to work with. When you work in social work, obviously, you're going to be dealing with people that have fallen on hard times to some degree or another. And a lot of times that involves the criminal justice system. So having an understanding of how the criminal justice system works can help you better help your clients. We have in criminal justice, we have, a juvenile justice class. So if you want to work with teens, I had a student yesterday who wanted to work with adolescents. We don't really have any specific courses in social work, specifically dealing with adolescents as opposed to anyone under the age of 18. But that would be a decent course, a victimology course they have. So if you want to work as a victim's advocate, so you're working not with the perps, but the victims of the crimes, that would be another opportunity. And then yesterday I heard a story on NPR where some pretty large cities, mostly on the West Coast of the country, are in response to the defund the police, which isn't really about defunding the police per se, but applying the police in areas that they're specialists in, and then using other people to address other issues. So they were talking in San Francisco that 25% of the calls the police go out on are actually mental health based and not necessarily dangerous. So they're creating a program to use a paramedic and a social worker to go out as a team to handle those situations, to free up the police to help with criminals instead of helping with homeless people or that type of thing. So I bring that up just because that's what they were kind of focused on in the article. So that's something that hopefully will work, further the need for social workers and that combination of people who understand both systems. But like Precious says, you're going to be trained to think in a certain way and to process information in a certain way. That's what you do in any undergraduate program. So that's what you're going to be trained to do, to see the world like a social worker, like Precious does, and be able to bring that separate viewpoint and different way of solving problems to a situation as opposed to a police officer. So sorry I talked too much.
Well said. And a couple people also commented in the chat. Jasmine actually has a minor in criminal justice. And both Joy and Leticia have also done some work in the justice system.
So I just want to incorporate the fact that as a social worker, even though you may not have a specific focus in criminal justice, I like that Jasmine said that she did. You may not have a specific degree or focus in criminal justice. However, there are programs, if you're working in a specific field, let's say you're working with children or you're working with Department of Children and Families, there may be opportunities or as a part of your position, they developed a grant to go out to the juvenile justice system, to Department of Juvenile Justice to aid in different areas, maybe foster children who are there and case manage those children. Or if you're working as I did with HIV and AIDS, and we had a program to help those individuals who needed their medications. And this came out of me being a social worker, not really being familiar with criminal justice, but showed a vested interest to my management that I would be interested in partaking and participating in those types of programs. So the opportunities are endless. As I said before, you never know where you might be needed or what program comes out of another program.
Okay. Are there any more questions? We have about 4 minutes left. Okay, so if you think of those questions later, again, we posted our email addresses in the chat box, and feel free to reach out to us. We try to get back to you as soon as possible. Most likely it's going to be the same day or within 10 minutes, just like, especially since we're virtual and always in front of the computer now. And thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you in the classroom, whether it's virtual or in person. We're looking forward to meeting you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and Carissa is gonna direct you to the next sections.
Thank you, Dr. O. So everybody, thank you so much for joining our session with the with the School of Social Work. Just wanted to let you know, as a reminder, we have some academic sessions happening starting at 11:30. We will have the pre-health program, the pre-law program. Some of you mentioned law school. We will also have the FAU honors experience and the academic success in online college courses. If you have any issues or you're wondering how to reach them, you can always go back to the virtual explore page. And then from there, you can select which academic session you want to attend next. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to the wonderful staff from the School of Social Work, Dr. O and her staff. Thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions, you have their contact, and best of luck to everyone. Thank you.